All righty, everybody. Thank you for joining us at Talking Real Estate, a Champions Real Estate team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate Company. Every week we get on over the lunch hour and kind of touch base with everybody about what's gone on in the marketplace over the last week or so. And let's jump straight into it. With school starting, we haven't seen too much craziness in the market here in the last week or so. So the numbers are basically about the same they were last week. So we got just under 500 new listings, just under 400 houses went under contract, and about 566 homes got new owners. So, but as we're seeing, we kind of touched base on last week's episode of what's going on in the marketplace. You know, obviously school is going back. There's a lot of buyers kind of putting a pause, hitting the pause button. You know, waiting for things to get their schedules back in more of a routine before they get back into looking at houses. Same thing with the selling side of it. So, sellers are like, well, let's get the kids back in school. Let's figure out what we want to do in that regards. I think as we kind of get a couple weeks out from school starting, around that Labor Day weekend, we'll start seeing, activity picking up more. So what does that mean from a buyer seller perspective at this moment? If you're on the market or looking at homes, from a buyer's perspective, there's less competition out there. And from a seller's perspective, you're still in a strong market. The market's still up a decent amount from the previous year. You might not be getting the crazy amount of offers or getting hot, the $30,000 above listing price. But if it's priced right, you'll get activity, and you'll sell that house for a very reasonable, very good price, very strong price in the marketplace. So as we said, the week's numbers about similar as last week. We'll kind of keep an eye on them. Obviously, moving forward here, I think they'll start to pick up, and then in that kind of window of getting your house on the market, if you're thinking of selling your house before the end of the year, I would say probably in the next month or so, getting that thing on the market. So now would be a great time to get with one of us here at Champions Real Estate Team to kind of get a game plan for you. Because if you put it on in October, you're going to close right around, Thanksgiving if you're doing a conventional or an FHA, VA loan, doing financing for that house. Most buyers want to be in before the holidays. And then some people kind of hit the pause button, until they get through the new year. And then, let's hit the big spring market. Pros and cons of waiting for the spring market, though, you're right out there with all the other competition of the other sellers out there. You're competing against those other sellers out there. More buyers are, okay, next year we're gonna hold off. Our lease is up in 6 months. Now we're going to get back in the buyer pool. So there are some good advantages of listing and buying in the fall months as we move into that, even into the winter months, based on competition on both sides of the coin. So, broader view of the market here, share another little slide that we share every week. So 30,000 foot view of the Omaha Lincoln MLS. We have 670 listings, very similar to what we had last week. Douglas Sarpy County, more the Omaha metro area, about 900 listings. Breaking that down into about 586 existing homes and about 320 or so new construction houses out there. As you can see, the average sold price up 11% from this time last year, just under $300,000 for your average sold price there. So, but we'll jump straight into it with Russ Williams here with Williams Mortgage. He joins us just about every week, unless he's out closing homes, to kind of keep us up to date on what's going on in the mortgage industry. He's a wealth of knowledge. He teaches the finance class at Results Coaching School of Real Estate, so he's very knowledgeable on all the products. And being a mortgage broker, he has a lot of products out there that can help just about any buyer get the right fit for you and go over those options. So, how's it going, Russ?
You're doing pretty well. We had a period of time, basically from late March until early this week, late last week, that interest rates had seen some nice improvement. We did see that fall off a little bit as we approach this week. And when we see the Freddie Mac primary mortgage market survey numbers come out tomorrow, we anticipate they're probably going to show that interest rates generally on your long-term fixed rate notes have risen anywhere from 1/8 to 1/4% over the last week, but it's still a great market. We've also seen that nationwide, the number of USDA and FHA loans has risen in the last month, which is a great indicator, Mark, to the point that you brought up the last couple of weeks, that we are seeing a little bit of an improvement in inventory. So if you weren't able to win a bid earlier in the year due to the competitive bidding situation, this might be a good time to get back out there. Certainly, vacations, back to school is keeping some people from shopping, but this is still a great time to buy a home. We've also seen a lot more inquiries in the last month on things like locking the interest rate before you found a home, as well as long-term locks in the event that somebody wants to buy a new construction. What happens if rates rise between now and when that home is completed, anywhere from 8 to maybe 18 months down the road. So those are some trends that we're seeing as far as questions. But certainly with inventory rising, Mark, we're seeing an increase in first-time home buyers winning bids, as evidenced by an increase in the number of USDA loans, which is a zero down payment loan for folks wanting to buy outside of the metro areas, as well as FHA, which is a great first-time home buyer loan if you've maybe got a couple of bumps on credit with 3.5% down. So those are some trends that we're seeing.
Yeah, and I agree. I think, those buyers that were on the sidelines or couldn't get any offers accepted back in that April, May timeframe, because it basically, honestly, if you were an FHA or a VA, basic government financing, you didn't really stand too much of a chance. To be honest, that's what I was telling my clients is, hey, let's try to be creative. Can we get you into a conventional loan? Working with Russ in that aspect of it. But yeah, so those buyers that may have missed out just on their type of financing, now is a great time just to get back in the game from that aspect of it. So, but yeah, so that's kind of, and if you are looking for any, what do we got here? There we go. Check out the updated new homes that are on the market. You can jump on our championsrealestateteam.com website here. So basically you can do some advanced search, map search. You can check out what your home's worth. Also down here on the right-hand side, we have our home buyer's guide and our home seller guide. So that's some good information for you. Whether you're thinking, I've had clients reach out to me already about, thinking about the spring market. These are some good guides just to get the ball game going. If you want to do a Zoom meeting with me, happy to meet you in person, and get a game plan. And now sitting down and meeting with, a lender like Russ can really help get your finances in order. Because there may be things you don't know that's on your credit or stuff like that you can kind of get ironed out now before to make you competitive in going into that spring market. Or heck, maybe something pops up between now and the first of the year that you really like, and does it make sense to break your lease, to get that house, maybe $1,000, depending on a month's rent, may save you some money if you, instead of waiting till next spring when the house prices may be going up, and kind of help you on the front end there. So yeah, check out our championsrealestateteam.com website. And then I think that's about all we got for today. Unless Russ, you got anything to add or anything?
No, there's really no negative news. So we're hearing the Fed continue to talk about what they plan to do. At this point in time, they're holding status quo while they wait for more information to come in on jobs and inflation. So rates are probably going to stay in this range for a little while here. Yeah.
So, I think, now's a great time to buy and sell. Get with us if you have questions. If you have any topics that you want us to hit on, comment on any of our platforms. We're out on YouTube, my LinkedIn account, and Facebook Live and stuff like that. So I'm happy to help, and give us a holler if we can help you out. So Russ is 402-290-8936. Myself is 402-672-7670. And appreciate you tuning in or watching us later. And we'll talk to you.